And I got a little sunburn yesterday, didn't I? Look, I think the title Dropout has become almost cool in the entrepreneur space, and I don't really think that's a good thing. Now, we all know Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Brad Pitt, they all dropped out. They all had this passion, this purpose that they had to pursue. They went against all their family, their friends, society. They took that leap, and for them, it really, really paid off. But the important thing that I want to talk about is that the title of Dropout does not mean that you are guaranteed success. Because it's easy to say, oh, these guys all dropped out and look at them, they're the richest, most successful people in the world. But you've got to consider that it's a big deal. It's a decision that I spent a couple of months of contemplating, journaling, and a lot of time of introspection just to come up with the decision to drop out of university. Because when you have the idea of dropping out to pursue a passion or a purpose of yours, then you get excited. You get excited because you think, oh, I can dedicate all of my time to this without having to focus on my studies, without having to go to classes. This can be my life. And I won't lie, that is a very, very exciting thought. It was almost overwhelming, but you have to slow down. You have to think, look, am I just being impatient with my studies? Am I just having a rough time right now? Do I really need to start this right now compared to when I finish my degree? Now, I want to state now that I am in no way encouraging that you stick with a degree that you are not enjoying, not getting any value from, and doesn't contribute to your future. I just want you to fully evaluate this decision because it is a big one. You've got to weigh up the pros and cons. Speak to people, speak to family, although always have in the back of your mind that they will be biased. I'd recommend speaking to people who have been through this journey, who have dropped out and perhaps it worked for them. But I'd also speak to people who dropped out, maybe it didn't work for them, because I think that would be a very interesting perspective to get on this topic. Let's say you're at university or college and it's a 3 or 4 year course. You've done a year, you're really not enjoying it, and that sunk cost fallacy is starting to kick in. You think, oh, I've already dedicated a year to this, I may as well just carry on. And this is where I'm biased and think, drop out. If you're in this place of sunk cost fallacy and you really believe that after a year it's too late to drop out, it's not, first of all. And answer this question for me. Would you rather spend the next 3 years of potentially the best years of your life, where you could be working on self-improvement, growing an online business and building this lifestyle that future you will thank you for? Or will you dedicate these 3 years to a degree that serves you no purpose, costs a hell of a lot of money, and is ultimately leaving you unfulfilled and disappointed? If you are in this situation, a recommendation of mine, and this isn't something you have to do, this is just something that I almost wish that I did. So 18, 19-year-old Bill, I wish he did this. So if you are thinking of starting an online business during your studies, if you have the time, I had a lot of spare time because my course was a joke. If you do have the time, I would create this online business as a side hustle and then spend 3, 6, 12 months working on that. And if you start seeing success and you really start to see the growth, then potentially you could think, right, this is actually giving me a lot more value, fulfillment and purpose than the degree ever has done. And you start to really consider dropping out or going down a different path. I think using the time during your studies, when you're working on both your studies and your online business, see your online business get to a certain sustainable level, then you go from there rather than just dropping out because you are impatient, you are stubborn. That's exactly what I did. But, well, no, actually, I knew I wanted to start a business, but I should have worked on it a little bit more before I dropped out. I mean, I was dropping out regardless of what happens to start this business, but I could have used more of the spare time that I had during my studies to get the ball rolling, because as soon as you drop out, if you're already earning 2-3K a month, then it's going to be so much better than dropping out and then starting at zero. So just remember that this is a big decision. The title of Dropout does not mean you are going to be successful. However, consider it. All right, see you soon. All the best.